Okay, here we are, Matthew Russell Lee, Inner City Press, here at the Southern District of New York Courthouse. Today, Monday, December 22nd, 2025. Now, this New York State Luigi Mangione suppression hearing is over, but there was a filing late Friday by his defense team against the death penalty in the federal case, and some conflicts of interest, they are alleging, by Pam Bondi with United Health, and also a legal argument that stalking doesn't qualify as a kind of a predicate act leading to it. You can find it. We put the whole thing up on Friday. Now, as of today, Monday, we're going to be covering the sentencing, facing life sentence of Cholo Abdullah, a man from the border of Kenya and Somalia, you can say, that became embroiled in a plot that never happened to commit acts of terror on the United States. We've covered his whole thing. He represented himself at trial. He said he didn't want to really defend himself. There was a lot of back and forth. There was a lot of sealing. We've covered it throughout. You can find all of that. But today is the culmination, the sentencing, in which he faces life in prison. That'll be at 12, and we're going to live tweet it. That I can assure you that we will be doing. Now, we also did a filing early this morning to DDC, the District of Columbia. Why? Well, some 9 days ago, we wrote to Magistrate Judge Zia Faruqi, because he had promised to unseal. He had said, it appeared to be saying, that he was saying that the warrant to seize the MT Skipper would be unsealed, and the docket was still sealed at that time. We also looked back and found that was, 25 SZ50. We went back over every single docket from 1 to 50 and found that only 4 were public. The rest were all unpublic. 45 cases still sealed. So we asked him, do they all have to be sealed? Can you unseal them? Can you ask the other magistrates to which they're assigned, and there's no way to know which judge even has the case since it's sealed, to unseal them? Well, I have to say I'm a bit disappointed. We haven't seen anything unsealed. And in fact, today we found that even MT Skipper is still listed as sealed. Now, the only out is he said, place it in the docket and make a further motion. But placing it in the docket means you got to be able to see the docket. On Court Listener, there's no docket. And on Pacer, there's a docket that's sealed. There's also now 51 through 56, all sealed. Is one of them the Bella one? We've written in again. We've written an article. I wish I was in D.C. where I could go hand deliver my thing, but we'll just see what happens. I think Zia Faruqi and the U.S. Attorney's Office there have some work to do, if not explanations to give. The reference is there's so much hoopla, rightfully so, about the failure to fully unseal the Epstein files on Friday. Well, this is, 56 ships, 5 unsealed, 51 secret seizure orders. None of them have been executed? The Bella one should be unsealed. They're already chasing the boat around. Anyway, that said. On the financial front, many banks are applying to the OCC, and we are going to be. There's also something called Link Bank, which Fair Finance Watch previously got a CRA lending commitment the FDIC imposed on them. Well, they're trying to sell themselves to a Virginia bank, so there's going to be that. And on the UN front, we wrote yet another scoop. It's a sad scoop, and I will say, a civilian national staffer of UNMISS in South Sudan was killed recently. And the staff there has written to us to say this was a tragedy, but they link it to irresponsibility of Antonio Guterres and Nicholas Haysom, his representative. The guy's not even in the country for months. It's a headless mission that's running into massive problems with the government that the UN spokespeople, Stefan Dujarric and others, won't even explain because no one there is asking about it. It's a totally softball press corps. Well, people are dying, and Antonio Guterres begins with an L and it rhymes. Okay then. We're going in. We may go over to state court today, even though just because there's no Luigi doesn't mean there's not a lot of good things happening. Not good things. Actually, one more thing on that. We reported on a case in September in which it was a suppression hearing. It happened much faster than Luigi's, but the probation officer's identification, despite the way the guy actually looks, was allowed in. And apparently he's now been sentenced, and the family is very upset, and we've heard from them, and I'm trying to figure out exactly, what's done is done. But they weren't allowed to speak in court, and they feel that it was an injustice. And watch this space. To be continued.